Hello and welcome to the Kinda Sorta Maybe show. My name is Jim Zavala. We have
Claudia
and Melinda.
And today we're going to talk about awesome stuff like
scary movies.
Scary movies. Woo, boo, yeah, all right. So, yeah, and again, you can find us on Twitter at KSM show. And go ahead and follow us, like our YouTube show and our channel, subscribe and all that good stuff. And again, spread the good word of the KSM show. Kinda Sorta Maybe show. That's what it stands for. So today, let's go ahead and start. And I wish I had my list here. But one of the questions that we want to kind of ask, what is your favorite scary movie?
All time?
Of all time.
We're going to jump right into it.
I know.
Okay, sorry.
You don't even know. There's like no small talk like, oh, what do you think of scary movies? Like, no, what's your favorite scary movie of all time?
Well, I mean, like with scary movies and stuff, like, were you guys big watchers of scary movies? I know we talked about it in the 80s podcast and things like that. I was. How about you guys?
I love scary movies. Ever since I was little, like, my dad and I, we would watch movies together, you know? And, like, my mom always thought that it was weird, but I love them. Like, I would watch them with him, and then I couldn't sleep. So then I would go and sleep with them, and it was weird, but I loved them. It was
How
like
old were you?
I was like 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
And that's when it started.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I didn't sleep with him afterwards because it was too weird.
That's too weird.
I didn't fit in the bed. That's why.
How about you, Melinda?
I am a huge scaredy cat, and I'm terrified of scary movies. And all my memories of watching every scary movie I've ever watched is basically me laughing as a way to, like, cover that. And it's either my friends or my family, but I'll find the jokes in the movie to, like, help me relax because I'm such a chicken and I will have nightmares for like 2 months.
You remind me of my sister. She would be the same way.
Yeah, so same thing. Like, I used to love scary movies because my parents loved scary movies, so we'd watch them. And you'd always have that fear. And I don't know if it's, and we talked about like supernatural stuff in the last podcast. But why do parents do that? Like, they show us these scary movies and then you don't want to go to bed.
Before bed.
Yeah, before bed. And then later on, they're wondering why you're not going to bed and why you're scared of the dark, right? So it's one thing that I've noticed with my kids, you know, that my parents have shown them these scary movies and kind of conditioned them to be afraid of the dark now and be afraid of all these unknown things. So it's just funny how that kind of stuff works. But again, favorite scary movie?
There's a lot of like good competitive ones, but then when I really start thinking about it, for sure, I would have to pick The Sixth Sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, The Sixth Sense is one of my favorite, and I would really, it's right there with The Fourth Kind. But when I think about The Sixth Sense, like I can still watch it and it gives me chills. It's old, like 1999. It was
old.
Yeah, it's from 1999.
I remember when that came out. Okay.
Yeah, you came out.
No.
What?
That's rude. 1999, when that movie was out, I remember, you know, my sister went out and she saw it. When did you watch it? How old were you when you watched it?
I was probably
were you a kid?
Teen.
Like, it was in the theater?
It came out in 1999. I must have been like 10 or 12.
Oh, okay. So you saw it a little later, probably on DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah,
Melinda?
I was probably like 12, 13 when I watched it. And I remember watching it with my mom, I think. And I just remember being scared. And I remember, which one? I don't even know what we're talking about.
The Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis.
Oh, that's the spoiler. So he was...
Oh.
Can I say it?
If you have not seen The Sixth Sense,
don't
pause this. Excuse me, pause
Fast
this.
forward a few seconds.
Yeah, fast forward. Maybe I'll put an annotation. Probably not. But pause this and watch The Sixth Sense and again, this is going to be a spoilerific episode. I think we're going to talk about our favorite things in scary movies. So with The Sixth Sense, final warning. 3, 2, 1.
Spoilers, he was dead the whole time. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. Yeah, which is awesomely done. And how about, so again, what were you saying? You saw it when you were a kid?
Yeah, when I was a kid, and it's...
Well, 12 years old, right, you said?
It still gives me chills. Like, the little boy, he's so good.
Yeah,
he
so
was.
So good. And my favorite scene in that whole movie is when he's like, I see dead people. And
that's iconic. Like, even now, that's still people, even kids who say it may not know where it stems from, but they know that line. Yeah. Like, it's that iconic.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I remember it sucked because my sister, Jennifer, shout out Jennifer, she saw the movie with her friends, and she was, I think, in middle school or something. So she went and saw it. And she came back. She's like, "Oh my God, I need to tell you like about this movie." We're like, "Oh, whatever, right?" So she started telling us, and she told us the twist right away. And we were really, I mean, I was really upset because when I saw it now, I knew going into it. So I wasn't surprised by that twist. But that was one of those iconic. Still, if you watch it, you notice all those things on a repeat viewings. Were you surprised by it, or did you have it spoiled for you?
No, well, no, I think I didn't know the ending, so I went in with a clear, fresh mind. So I think I was confused. I'm like, wait, what? What happened?
What do you mean?
Because you were scared under the
I
pillow.
was, and I do that in scary movies where like I'm looking to the side, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think I was shocked because I didn't know what's going on. I had my mom explain it to me.
Yeah, there was a lot of, if you've ever seen any like repeat viewings, there's a lot of symbolism in there. The red balloon, the color red, and things like that throughout the movie. There's hints that he said nobody talks to him, nobody interacts with him. The scene starts with him already in there, which was really, really smartly done by M. Night Shyamalan. And then later on, he did some other movies such as, what was the next one? Unbreakable, which is not a horror movie. It's a superhero movie. The other one after that is, I think, The Village, and I think, Signs. Signs is another scary.
That is a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah. So he went on a roll, and Signs had a really scary part. I remember
the birthday party.
They found the footage that was submitted to the news. And it just gave you chills. Of course,
it was like a Hispanic, like a piñata, right?
But I remember, what's his name? I can't remember.
Mel Gibson.
Name. No, the other dude.
I don't know.
Joaquin Phoenix, where he's there and he's watching the footage and like he's like, "Ándale, ándale," like he tells the kids to get out of the way. And I remember laughing so much, but it's so the tension,
scary.
And then you see the alien walk right
real
in front.
Slow. I think it's because you weren't expecting it, right? Like it came out of nowhere, and
like how I felt last week in our podcast.
Yes, okay. With the ghost, the mystery ghost. There you go. We got the ghost window just to make sure.
Ghost window.
Yeah, make sure we have any apparitions. But yeah, with that, the tension, the music, the anticipation was really good, and I think M. Night did a really good. I'm calling M. Night. We're buddies.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he did a really good job, with these early movies. And again, he did The Village, and there's a lot more that he did. And there's another one that he did recently, which was
The Visit.
Nope.
Is that the old people one?
Yeah.
The grandparents one.
Ooh.
The grandparents?
I haven't heard of that one.
It's creepy.
You've seen it though?
I've seen it. Of course I saw it. I'm like,
okay.
oh my God, he made The Sixth Sense. Yeah. It's good. It's creepy.
You thought?
I mean, I was like,
I never saw it.
Predictable.
Like, I went in because I thought it was The Sixth Sense, so it was going to be freaky. And in a sense, it is creepy.
You're like, where's Bruce Willis
when they
at?
stick the kids, when they stick the kids they try to stick
oven.
them in the oven, and what? I'm like, oh my God.
Okay.
They're
I haven't.
wacko.
I'll cover my ears because I haven't seen. Maybe if we haven't seen any movies, I'll give you a spoiler warning.
Yeah.
And then because I haven't seen that one,
you need to see
I'll
it.
check it out.
I wasn't a fan.
It's freaky.
I thought it was dumb.
I'll cover my
I'm like,
ears. Yeah. If you don't know this, I'm a big spoiler. Like I don't want to know anything about any movies. I try not to watch or read any reviews or talk to anybody. Like
he will walk out of the room.
I'll walk out of the room and like la la la, like because I want to be surprised. I want to experience it like everybody else did the first time. So that's another one. Devil, did you watch that one?
Oh yeah.
The Elevator. See, so we're kind of going on an
song.
M. Night route.
Okay, that's fine.
But that was a good one.
Oh
Devil
man, I forgot about that one. I remember watching it in high school with my best friend.
Yeah, I never trust old ladies because of it. Just kidding.
That's me with the movie. What is that movie? I told you guys my first rated R movie. The one with the wing Legion. Right, where the old lady eats like the raw meat. I'm like, old lady, why? Yeah, what are you doing?
She gets all creepy.
And she crawls on the like, why are they making the old people creepy? Like they make them creepers.
They're supposed to be safe, like the safe, and then it's the unexpected. So, I mean, there's a lot of tropes in horror movies, and same thing. So, moving along, anything else you want to add with Sixth Sense or any other M. Night?
No, Devil though. That one is one.
Yeah,
of
you
the
just
movies
mentioned it.
And then that sticks to you. Like, have you seen it? Right?
Yes, I have seen it. Yes.
I went to see it at the Hollywood movies, and I remember walking out in McAllen. Okay. I remember walking out and like just that song. First of all, the catchy, creepy
what song was it? I don't remember it.
Yeah, me neither.
Something about the apple tree. Hi.
The ghost is back.
I don't know. I don't remember it, but like now I'm afraid of elevators. Like I think twice before I go in.
Really?
I would say.
No, there was some really creepy stuff in that one. Especially, I remember, that Hispanic actor, the dude
sets
kind of
the mood.
Yeah, he sets the mood and he explains. He's a character that kind of explains everything to the audience. Of like on this certain day, toast. What is it? Falls on face up or whatever it was. I don't remember the specifics.
He's around if your toast falls upside down.
Oh, okay. Was that what it was?
I think
Is
so.
that a Mexican lore?
But we talked about it, right?
Yeah, we talked about it last time. It's one of those things. I hadn't heard it that way, but when he sets the mood in that movie, like I'm like, now I think about it. Like if my sandwich falls with the peanut butter down, I'm like, oh hell no.
You're like,
Peppercino.
You still eat it?
5-second rule.
Yeah, so that was a really creepy one. I can't remember all the details in that one, but I remember being kind of freaked out with that one. How about another one you want to mention?
No,
What's
I don't
yours?
know.
So Sixth Sense, and we all like M. Night, most of them. How about you?
I don't know, cause like I said, the movies all the scary movies.
You see them like this?
I see them. Well, if I'm at home, like I'll have the blanket and trying to cover. If I'm in the theater, I'll move my eyes so I don't. If I hear the music and I know something's coming, I'm like, nope, not gonna look.
The suspense.
And yeah, so every movie that I've ever seen, I will be the one to like make the joke and laugh because I am just so terrified of it. So I can't think of like a movie where I'm like, man, that's a good one.
Well, speaking of movies, maybe if you come up with one, go ahead and jump in. But one movie that was more of a recent one that had a kind of a twist was Skeleton Key. Did you ever watch that one?
That wasn't recent.
Well,
Wasn't that like
recent for me.
2000s?
When you get to my age.
Older.
That's the one with Jennifer Hudson. Nope.
Jennifer Hudson is a singer, I think.
Hudson.
Kate Hudson. Yes. So did you watch that one?
Yeah.
Did you watch that one?
I want to say I watched it, but it's one of those that didn't stick with me because I don't remember it.
The twist in that one it's one of those things where you do not expect it. So if you haven't seen Skeleton Key, do you want me to not talk about it?
It's fine.
Okay. Well, so Skeleton, do you remember the twist?
Nope.
All right. So Skeleton Key. Watch it again. 3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert. So it takes place in the South. This Kate Hudson goes in. She's kind of a healthcare provider, takes care of this old man, and the wife is kind of helping around. And there's something off about them. And then there's this lawyer that comes by, and she kind of falls in love with them and all this stuff. So you start hearing all this. They call it hoodoo, kind of like a thing of voodoo in the area, a regional thing. So what happens is pretty much they are trying to transfer. There was this old story where these slaves got hung on the outside, but before that they were into this voodoo. They transferred their souls into the bodies of their children, and they ended up hanging the slaves. That's the whole thing. So there's this guy. He was very creepy, and the old man, he was trying to give her signs. It ended up that they had switched bodies with them before, and they were trying to switch bodies with her. This whole thing. It's
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it. So it's very creepy. Check that one out. I didn't do it justice, but it's a very scary movie. I think just the whole unknown and the creepiness of that movie is.
It's kind of like the others
I was
with
right,
Nicole Kidman, right?
Yeah,
that one was also an unexpected. Yeah,
and that's the thing with when M. Night started doing these movies. You had all these offshoots where we got to get a twist.
Yeah,
and I mean, some were really good, some weren't. Others was okay. That was a good twist. And you can kind of see it happen from a mile away. But Skeleton Key was one that I couldn't see what was going on there. What's the twist of this one? Yeah. So another one of my, I guess, scary ones was The Ring.
7 days.
Yeah, you say that every day.
Every time it's Monday, I'm like 7 days.
You pick up the phone. I'm like, hello, this is Jim. 7 days. Okay.
I told that to Pablo too before a wedding. 7 days before a wedding.
You did?
Oh my gosh, Claudia.
Wow.
He loves it.
He does?
He loves
I'm
me.
sure.
Shout out to Pablo.
Yeah. The Ring was another scary movie, and if you don't know the history of these movies, they were kind of American remakes of Japanese movies, or Asian. Most of them were Japanese, and The Ring was awesome. I remember seeing The Ring and just freaking out. That whole that first scene, the whole open, it kind of starts with that party or whatever it is, and they find the girl in the closet and her face is all messed up, and so that was just terrifying for me. And then the whole girl coming out and just people, the way they were dying was just insane. And that video,
It all
That
started
video
with the
was-
tape.
the
It all
tape,
started
yeah.
with-
VHS.
mm-hmm. It was a
Yeah.
really cool premise. So I'm curious to see. You mentioned there's a sequel coming out.
Oh yeah, the
So,
Rings
The Rings
comes out October 28th.
Really? Okay. So that's one that I will definitely be watching because I really enjoyed The Ring.
I'm excited to watch it because of the new
The idea.
the idea of the
No more
changes in
VHS.
technology. You know, no more VHS. You don't have to rewind it. Now it's everywhere by
Mhm.
like a click. It's a
Mhm.
click away. So that trailer really got me hooked. I hope it comes like out.
Mm-hmm.
It lives up to the trailer standard that it has set for me. But I'm excited to see it. That one.
Cool. Yeah. Like I haven't seen the trailer, but I can imagine it's like something you always send us links all the time. We're like, yes,
Where we
it's
just-
like 2 a.m.
and
we
you click
I
it.
am not awake
Yeah,
at
you
2 in
could
the
send us
morning.
super creepy links and we wouldn't even
You
know.
wouldn't know. So I don't know how this works, how that would work. Did you ever hear the movie called It Follows?
What's the
It
movie?
was kind of an independent movie. It was almost like a Ring.
That was
Kinda-
on my worst list.
It was on your worst list?
Really?
Okay.
Yeah,
But you did
Pablo
see
and
it.
I watched.
Is that the one at the creek? Like the
beginning.
water?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, so with this one, it got hyped up for me, and maybe that's why people were going crazy about this independent movie. The way what it is they pretty much they sleep with someone and they pass on this presence or this demon.
What?
And so think of The Ring where you're being cursed, but in order to get rid of that curse, you have to get somebody else to watch it. So this person comes along, they kind of charm the girl, and then they end up, doing stuff. And then no, she has it. He kind of like takes her and tells her something will be following you. And these are the rules. If you die, it's going to come after me next. So they have to keep spreading it. And the whole time, and the premise I think sounds scarier than what the movie is.
Yeah, that sounds so terrifying.
But the girl would have to run away. She would be walking because at all times, at any time, this thing is following. It's just walking.
and what is it? It's a monster or a person?
It looks like a person. It looks like a person. It can take forms of different people. So you don't know this person walking toward us right now. You won't know if that's the monster.
And how do you die?
So it comes in and pretty much just kills you. I don't know exactly. I think it
Like
just,
gunshot, knife.
No, murders you, squeezes the life out of you pretty much, probably. I don't remember, but that was just that premise of it happening and then you having to go do that so you could rest. And then if that person dies, it comes back. It's kind of like that was a really scary premise. Execution, it was okay. But just thinking about it was pretty scary. How about you? Another one?
What about some of the classics like Stephen King's Pet Cemetery?
Oh, that was a good one.
That
Oh,
one was a good one.
You just heard Pat. You're like, oh,
no,
Pat.
Cats,
the
killer
kitty, I
cats.
know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember I watched that movie. I've only ever watched it one time, and it was at my grandpa's house because he didn't have. I think in his house, like only certain channels worked, and so it just so happened that in that channel they were giving that, and I saw it as a child. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Pet
Ooh, I
Cemetery,
love pets.
fun.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and it was
Freaked you
it
out.
wasn't fun.
That scene where the baby chases
yeah.
the balloon.
Yeah, Gage, right? His name's Gage.
Yeah.
He runs into the street and gets hit by a semi truck.
Oh yeah.
And that's what starts the whole thing. So, really good movie, Stephen King movie. Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, a parent can relate. I mean, you want your child back. They were grieving and they would do anything to bring your kid back. So they heard this whole rumor. They went and buried the child. And of course, he came back, but like evil, possessed, whatever it was. It wasn't your kid
Yeah.
anymore. And that's another line I use with my kids all the time. When I like tell them no for something, I'm like, sorry, we can't do that. They're like, and I go, no fair, daddy. And then
You're always creeping them out.
I am. And so then my kids start saying it too. They don't get the reference, but they know it's from a scary movie. So they're like, no fair, daddy. That's what like the dad did. He injected him with like poison to kind of knock him out and kill him.
Would you do that?
If my kids were possessed, probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I would
you
have to,
can
right?
empathize.
Or let them, or like the mother allowed the child to kill her because she couldn't go through with it. She's just like, go for it. And he kind of like sliced her up or whatever. gross part in that movie, I remember the kid with the little boy with the knife on the back of that tendon that we have.
The Achilles.
Yeah, the Achilles tendon. Oh my
Ah.
gosh! And then I think he gets something like this too. And that, like, ouch, that would hurt.
That
Like
does-
a little paper cut here. I don't know if you've ever had one.
Joker.
The Joker, yeah. That's how he became the Joker. That old man. Yeah. So
Origin.
little known fact.
The Joker origin.
Joker origin.
Cemeteries played like a big role now that I'm thinking about it in older movies. Like I'm thinking Pet Cemetery for sure because of the Indian burial
Native
grounds.
American burial ground.
Native American burial grounds. My bad. And which other one? I was thinking the Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
It
you
all
took mine.
starts with mocking the
They're gonna get you, Barbara.
what are those called?
Gravestones.
Gravestones.
Tombstone.
The tombstones, the people resting, and then there's poultry guys,
Poultry guys.
poultry
Classic.
guys,
Mhm.
classic. Which other ones can you think of?
Well,
where there's
I want to go
cemeteries?
back to Night of the Living Dead because that was one that I watched as a kid. Night of the Living Dead, I believe 1967, 1968, can't remember.
Classic.
Black and white. George Romero directed this movie, and it was like one of the first of its kind. I think that introduced the zombie. I don't think they called them zombies. They called them ghouls. I believe that's what they referred to them. But yeah, the beginning scene, they're driving to the cemetery, go and say goodbye. I don't know who passed away, if there was their mother or something, but the brother was just kind of like, they're going to get you, Barbara, as a brother does, right? So he's mocking her, and sure enough, they see this guy and he just bites the brother, and she runs away and runs to this house, and they have a Night of the Zombies, and it kind of like establishes the whole zombie theme there.
What version
That's
did
a
I
good one.
watch? Because I remember watching this one where they're drinking in the cemetery.
You are thinking of Return of the Living Dead,
okay,
which is kind of a 80s movie spoof, almost, because it's kind of funny. It has funny moments in Return of the Living Dead.
Because it was in my worst list. I was like, that was just not
Oh
scary
my
at all.
gosh. No, so you need to watch Night of the Living Dead, which is 1968. Of course, it's not going to hold up. You know, maybe I think it will, because it's actually, and this one's free. You can probably find it. He lost the rights to Night of the Living Dead because he didn't do it the right way, I guess. So it's I don't remember what it's called, where anybody has no copyright. But that also spawned Dawn of the Dead, the 1980s version, which is really great. Then they actually did a remake. They did Day of the Dead, I think, in the 80s, and then they did Night of the Living Dead again, a 1990s version, which is in color. And this one, they kind of changed it up a little bit. Same story. She became more of like the heroine, and there's the African-American dude that he becomes a hero in this one. And just very sad ending at the end. They kind of changed the ending, but it was really good. Another classic.
Classic.
So Return of the Living Dead. The one that you're thinking of, what is that? What do you remember from that one?
I remember them like there was teens, drinking in the middle of the cemetery, and then I'm assuming that the storyline came from the desecration of them like disrespecting the graves.
So in Return,
then they come back.
They come back. Yeah, Return was more of the government doing all these experiments with these chemicals, and it literally falls off a truck and lands in a cemetery. And that's what brings back the zombies. So it's kind of a sci-fi.
Yeah, it
horror.
sounds very, very cliche sci-fi of like the 80s.
It was of the 80s. That movie does not hold up. So there's some parts in there where you literally have a Michael Jackson zombie. Kind of, he gets electrocuted, and he kind of does a little spin move and then falls. Like I don't remember if that's
I
part
don't
one
remember
or
that.
part two.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
remember
ever
that.
seen that.
But part three, on the other hand,
There's three of
there's
them.
Probably, yeah, I think there's three. Part three was like a 90s one, but that
Okay.
one was actually all right. Like from me remembering it, that was all right. Return of the Living Dead 3.
I guess
Good
for me, zombies, like there's people like Pablo. Pablo's obsessed with zombies. Like
Yeah.
he thinks there's going to be a zombie
Zombie
apocalypse. But I'm like, I don't like zombies. I'm not scared of zombies. I think they're kind of hilarious. Like I don't know. I guess it's because they don't scare me that I probably wouldn't enjoy watching.
So
And there's
all
a lot
those
of different
zombie
types of
movies,
zombies.
there's
yeah.
different types of zombies.
There's a fast, like in World War Z, and then there's a slow, like in
like Walking Dead
Walking Dead,
style,
yeah.
or Night of the Living Dead style. Yeah, one that I recommend if you want to see a good zombie movie, there's a couple that I would recommend. The Dawn of the Dead remake, which has
The game.
No.
Peanut Butter Pizza Game.
No. What? No. You're thinking of. You're thinking of.
Dawn of the Dead.
No, Dawn of the Dead is a movie. You're thinking of
Shaun
House
of the Dead.
Oh, Shaun of the
House
Dead.
of the
is great.
Dead.
House of the Dead. I'm
Dead.
like, I like to play these
Yeah.
these games.
No, so Dawn of the Dead, I would recommend the remake. It was done by, let's say, Zac Efron. Nope.
Okay.
Zack Snyder, the guy who did the Superman movie, but he was really good with Dawn of the Dead. That was one of his first movies. Regardless of how you feel,
Is that
about
one of the
Superman-
ones in the mall? Or is that Shaun of the Dead?
No, that's one of the ones in the mall. It's a one in the mall.
Okay, then I did see it.
So yeah, Dawn of the Dead is really good. The other one that I would recommend is 28 Days Later,
Oh,
which is
That's-
really good.
oh yeah,
It takes place in the British. What do you think about that?
that's true. I remember that one.
You're a motor?
Yeah.
No, I'm
remember
thinking
it?
28 Days
Days-
of Night.
No,
Whoa, that's real.
That's
20
that's
28
the
Days of
vampire
Night.
one. No, that's the vampire one that you're
28
thinking of.
Days Later.
28 Days Later is in.
You're thinking
British.
of the ice one, right?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
thinking of the vampire one.
Yeah.
No,
never mind.
that's completely different. But this one, if you're looking for good zombie movies, Dawn of the Dead, 28 Days Later, and even 28 Weeks Later, which is a sequel to 28 Days Later.
28 Days.
And I'd
Man,
love
I
to
haven't
go
seen
into
that
it,
since
but
high
man,
school.
I love zombies, so I know we need to have a zombie podcast. And
Now we
because
do.
zombies is
Well, it's
are
October.
great.
We can.
We
We
can.
can.
And invite Pablo to be in
We
it.
can special guest people. Yeah, we need our experts, the
Ooh,
zombie
vale.
experts. But we can move away from zombies if you want to go on a different one. Melinda, do you have one, or Claudia?
Jeepers, creepers, where did you get those peepers?
Okay.
What'd you guys think of that one?
You know, a lot of people love Jeepers Creepers. There's some weird stuff in there. What about? I'll go into it in a little bit. What do you
Oh,
think? Did
man.
you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. That's the one that has the guy from Bring It On, right?
The Mac.
Mhm.
Bring it on.
The
I don't
guy.
know. But he's like a young guy,
You
right?
have Justin Long.
Oh, then it's not the
which
guy
is
from Bring It
guy-
On.
No, that's not him.
That's the wrong guy.
And I'm like,
Was he the monster?
Yeah.
Was he the monster?
Maybe.
No.
No, yeah. It's in a cage, right? And he sews people's body parts.
He takes body parts.
Yeah.
And puts seals them and
smells
uses
you.
them.
It's an episode of Supernatural.
like Donald Trump.
Okay.
Do the sniff. Do the
The
sniff.
sniff master.
So
Oh, God.
yeah,
I recently watched that movie, and it's
Which
still giving me
one?
the creeps.
Jeepers Creepers?
I
Well, you
watched it
see,
again.
what I think about now, every time when I was in high school and I was on a bus, what I would picture was that scene
Lord.
where the bus
Yes,
hits.
that's the second part.
Okay, and every time I was in a bus, I'm like, if that happened, what would I do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I always have that like mentality in my brain.
It was the
About the
second
bus.
part, and they're like all UIL kids coming from a tournament.
UIL.
You, I don't think they were you. There was like
In my
football. It
mind-
was like football players and cheerleaders. No.
Yeah, they were all coming from
you're
some
like,
So
no,
not-
they're UIL.
UIL
An
football
academic
players.
decathlon.
Academic decathlon.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because we would go on these choir trips to San Antonio, and we would go at night, right, to make it there. And I remember always like imagining the Jeepers Creepers guy coming from the top of a freaking
yes.
bus and just eating me, and
Yeah.
like I'd be the one he'd want in my mind.
Why?
Like, he would want me, like my brains or
You.
something. Come here,
He wants your
you.
brains.
But scarier, of course. Like, come here, you.
There you go. Yeah, so the whole thing with Jeepers Creepers, and I'd hate to bring it back. There's a lot of controversy about that director. Have you heard of that?
No.
That apparently, I don't make you guys hate this movie, but supposedly this guy was a sex offender. And sorry, I killed it for you. But there's a lot of things going back and watching those movies with that knowledge and going, why is he like
Oh, was
sniffing
it, like,
little
pervert-
kids
oh.
and sniffing like.
Oh, he was sniffing little.
Well, you
Yeah, I
just
don't
said
remember that scene.
The second
not
part.
kids, teenagers, right? And then he was going after. There's some weird things in there. You can find out more on the internet, but there's just some weird stuff with that director. So, but no, Jeepers Creepers as a movie. I remember watching the first half of it, and yeah, it was a really well done movie, and with the
twist,
monster and the
yeah.
whole thing. I liked the first one. The second one, not so much. But I think there's a sequel, right? A third one
coming out. Yeah.
Okay. My family, my sisters, and my
There's a
dad
third one
loved
coming
it.
out.
The rumors say that yes, according to Movie Pilot, that there might be a new
Okay.
one being made. Mhm.
Confirmed.
Confirmed,
Well, it's been-
Claudia.
That's actually been for a while, so I don't know. It's been
Oh,
more than a couple
man.
of years where they've said that there's gonna be a new one. But I remember that one is pretty creepy. The song sticks to you, and
Do it
that's one of
again.
the things that the '80s movies have, or the old
Well, that's
was
not an
it
80s,
The
that's like a
older
2000
movies? It is from.
1990, I would say 99 or early 2000s probably.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
But just like the fact that it has a
90s.
jingle.
Yeah.
The jingle, and then it has the twist at the end.
So the jingle was like an older song that they just used for this movie, which is cool, like from the 40s or whatever it was. So I was there.
Your era.
My era,
Your time,
the
Jim.
roaring 40s. They didn't
No,
call it
that's
that.
the 20s.
That's the 20s. Yeah.
What about movies based on true stories?
Well, before we get there, I want to talk about one that just kind of you reminded me because of the good stuff in Jeepers Creepers. It's not really a monster. It's more of the person. I mean, a lot of times people are afraid of monsters and ghosts. But what's the scariest thing?
It's
People.
People that, yeah.
Yeah, the people
Like just
that do
creepers.
This stuff. So we can go on a bunch of what creepers for Minecraft. Ooh, what? I don't know if you've seen it. Joyride.
Is that the one with
the bus driver, the
Paul
truck
Walker.
driver.
Paul Walker, I believe, is in it, and somebody, I can't remember his name. He's a funny dude. But the whole point of it, they're driving around, and you ever seen it? You saw it, right? That movie is just so scary because you're on the road and you never know who you're gonna bump into and piss off or whatever. And there was just something about this movie, so suspenseful, and it was scary. I mean, he starts messing with them with the radio, the candy cane, and kind of tells them, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it was just so good. So check that one out. I can't describe these movies. Just this is a good one. But you wanted to talk about realistic horror movies?
Realistic based on true
true stories. Okay.
Yeah, like what do you guys? What's your favorite?
Well, I mean, you take the whole true story based on a true story with a grain of salt, but when they do put that up on there, like, oh, it has to be true, right? No, not really. But like based on that, it would be Amityville Horror for me. So when I saw that one I saw it pretty early on. I think it's a 70s movie originally, late 70s. I loved Amityville Horror, and just it was great. Same thing with the second one, with the remake of it, the 1990, can't remember, the 1990s or 2000s version with Ryan Reynolds. Really good as well. You ever watch any of those?
You said that in lunch, and I don't remember that one. I remember watching the original one, and I don't know what the Ryan Reynolds one is. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing. He's pretty, and you mentioned something that you remembered it because why?
He takes off his shirt multiple times.
Oh, got it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Ryan Reynolds scary movie.
yeah, like he's like the hottest stepdad that you can imagine.
I think is he a stepdad or real dad?
He's a stepdad.
So the whole thing with Amityville Horror, it's been passed on that this house does exist in this area. They've even recently brought it on in that new series of movies with the couple, the ghost hunters.
The Warrens.
The Warrens. So in the beginning of that newest movie, what was it called?
The Conjuring.
Part 2? Conjuring 2. They actually, it starts off with them, with like the Amityville house. Kind of like that. So where they're kind of solving it or doing that kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So you're like, I know this. Like, this is so familiar. This is Amityville.
Yep.
Because it's so ingrained in our culture where we know the Amityville story.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, it's another great one. Though either of those two are really good. How about you?
The fourth kind. I would say the fourth kind. But I was reading up on it, and I don't know. But also The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I don't remember it though.
Yeah, me neither.
That one, it's so good. Like, I was trying to look for it this weekend so I could watch it again just to refresh my memory. But it was made in 2005. And it's based on the life, according to my research, right? Scoopwhoop.com.
She's citing sources here.
Citing sources.
It's legit.
I have like a whole list of movies based on true stories. But this one is based on the life of Annalise Michael, who was possessed by demons so strong that her exorcism nearly took a year to accomplish.
Okay.
But the movie is actually... It tells her story, right? Emily Rose. She was this really good girl, grew up on a farm. She always obeyed her parents. Then she goes to college, right? Okay. And she goes to study. She wanted to be a teacher, I want to say, from what I remember. And in the dorms, she gets possessed.
Okay.
And so,
How?
To me, how do possession? Like the demon just, I guess, saw
But
that.
like, what was her? What demon? What? I want the logic behind it.
She gets possessed. She gets possessed, and while she's in the dorms, and so she's by herself. Her parents aren't there, and I think to me that's what scared me the most at the time, because I was about to become a college student, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get scared in the dorms. I'm gonna get possessed. So the movie is really, it's really unique because it doesn't take place like a normal scary movie. It's actually during a trial. The movie kind of tells a story through the trial of the father that's getting accused of killing her, because she ends up dying. Sorry, spoilers.
I'll check that one out. Never mind.
The demon. Do you want me to tell it? It's just super scary.
No, go for it.
The demon debilitates her so much that she ends up passing away. And so in her last wishes, she tells the father that conducts the exorcism, to make sure that she tells her story, because if she can prove that the devil exists, then she can also prove that God exists. And so it's just super scary, because it's through the experiences of her attorney, it's through the experiences of her father, of the father that conducted the exorcism, and just the scenes are just so scary.
Is that the scene where they're down somewhere and they kind of tie her up to like a pole or a post at the end?
In a farm, yes. And then you see all the animals running out because all the demons were coming out.
Maybe I remember that. I don't know.
It's a really good movie.
It might have been one of those that I skipped. I think the 2000s were kind of hazy.
Yeah.
They weren't. I was in college.
2000. Yeah.
Hazy for another reason.
But definitely watch it. Like, I think it brings the whole exorcism movies like to a whole new level, because it's different. And I loved it. Like, that one freaked me out, like I said, because I didn't know it was honestly based on a true story till I started doing my research, but it's one of those that sticks to you.
And what do you think? Do you think it was based? Is there actual, like, have you looked into it as far as there's actual, like, news articles?
According to the movie at the end, like, it was true. And, like, I know that she experienced that stigmata at the end. That's what they said. Yeah. And the attorney, I would like to look more into it, honestly, just to know. But I remember freaking out because those texts, those scary texts at the end of the movie. I really wish I had watched it this weekend so that I could remember what it says, but it's good.
Yeah. And how about you, Melinda? Scary?
I didn't know that The Fourth Kind was based on a true story. From
my research,
wasn't that an alien movie?
Yes,
okay. That's why.
From my research in Scoop Whoop, in real life, there was
the website that I run.
I created a blog. No, apparently, like, the movie is set in Alaska, but it was actually filmed in Bulgaria, and so from what I read,
is that Milla Jovovich?
Milla Jovovich.
Yeah. Resident Evil lady.
That the movie was inspired.
Oh
yeah. The
What?
movie was
Do you love her? Do you love her?
That was so weird.
I was like, no, it was based on some disappearances in Alaska, and so that's it says. In real life, there was a string of disappearances in the small town of West Alaska. And then the FBI went to investigate it. And so, of course, they blew it up. Not everything was real. But what was really scary about that movie, as you all know, is because they intertwined that actual footage with, like, the actors.
Owls.
The owls. It was just super creepy.
I remember that. Well, because when I was in high school, my best friend and I had a weekly movie night. So that night, we would watch, like, 5 scary movies or whatever movie was popular at the time, when we would still go to our video choice or whatever it was called, and like get it before
video
Netflix.
Choice?
That's the way it was in Roma.
Okay.
That was our we didn't have Blockbuster brand.
Okay.
We had video choice.
Video choice.
Quality videos.
Yeah, and so we would go and we'd get our videos.
Were they
and
pirated movies? Like
No!
You saw the people in there?
They were
Copies
real.
of tapes.
Okay, copies of tape.
You guys are the worst.
Okay.
No, so that was one of the ones I remember watching in one of our movie nights, and it's, oh man, I didn't know it was based on a true story, because I really liked that movie.
Really?
Because of the owls.
What?
White owls.
I don't know. I had heard maybe the hype or whatever. Remember, I was a lot older when I saw these movies. So I'm like, Grandpa. So
Grandpa Jim.
I'm watching them, and it doesn't, affect me the same way as if I were when I was younger or whatever.
But it's because you weren't into X-Files, or were you?
No.
You didn't like X Files?
Really? Yes, I like X Files.
Because like
How long have you worked together?
I
Yeah,
hate you.
I love X Files. I love science fiction, all that kind of stuff. But maybe I'm the more of the skeptic kind of thing.
You are a skeptic, as we have established in the last podcast.
Except that ghost that I saw when I was 10. Except for that one time. But no, it doesn't mean it doesn't freak you out, because your mind plays tricks on you. You know, I'm in my office and I see something move over here. What the, heck, but it's like the wind, sure, but there's no wind.
There's no vent.
That's Jim's office, by the way.
So
the haunted one.
the haunted office. Yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that. What were we talking about?
Why you
That you didn't
Why am I
like
here?
Fourth
Oh,
Kind.
Fourth Kind.
Yeah, Fourth Kind wasn't really my thing. Did you? You liked it though? The owls, but you love owls,
I
right?
love
You're like,
owls.
oh, Harry Potter.
Hedwig.
Hedwig. Shout out Hedwig. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Hedwig.
I knew that.
Shout out Perla, Harry Potter.
Oh yeah. All right, Perla, keep on. Send us your
Watching
questions.
our only viewer.
That movie, I guess what scared me the most is the idea of them taking you at night, doing all these experiments on you, and then implanting that memory of the owl so that you don't remember.
Okay.
But you know that you've been taken somewhere, but you don't remember.
X-Files, Jim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so good. I thought it was really
I think more of the whole since it said based on a true story, I'm like, nah. Like it threw me off. If it was just a work of fiction, I'd have been, oh, this is a cool concept or whatever. But I remember they didn't like Believer and things like that, right? Like, so I remember the movie vaguely, but maybe I need to watch it again with an open mind. Show my kids, freak them out.
Freak them out.
What's
That's
October,
always
so?
best.
Yeah. Okay. So, and another one that you got?
So I can read you guys my list of, according to this
Claudia's
scoop
picks.
group,
Gladys.
the movies based on true stories, and then you guys can go ahead and talk about that. So number 1, The Exorcist in 1973, based on a real book, which was based on a real life. The boy of a name.
Is there a fake
The
book?
name of a boy named Roland Doe, who was possessed by demons.
That's the Hispanic
Roland
one.
Yeah.
Doe.
Okay.
Sounds fake.
It does. Rolling in
Thanks,
the dough.
Scoop Whoop. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. I want to jump in on that one.
Yeah.
So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of these, what is that, a shotgun?
Mm-hmm.
That was my
Here,
chainsaw.
get close to the mic and do your... Are you shooting?
But I got stuck.
You got stuck?
You didn't clean the. You need to clean the
Yeah,
barrel.
yeah, you got to clean that.
Yeah.
Make sure the chain's clean and all that, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one that constantly, anytime I take a back road in Texas, especially we live in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is freaking huge, and I've traveled all over Texas. And when I'm driving, you take like, hey, you know what? This is thanks Google for this quicker route, or Siri or whatever. We'll take this back road, and it looks kind of freaky. And then one time, actually, we were driving back, and it wanted me to turn to this cornfield and do all this stuff. I'm like, nope. It was dark, you never know. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one of those where I always joke. I tell my kids and my wife, I'm like, hey, there's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, just
Any
for
house,
fun.
yeah, any house.
Any weird old house is that place.
Yep. Don't
that
get
was
lost in Corpus Christi. It's creepy.
It's creepy, yeah. What else you got?
Child's Play.
What? How is that based on a true story?
Claudia, that's.
It says the script was based on a nurse who allegedly put a voodoo curse on an author named Robert Eugene Otto, which transformed one of his childhood dolls into a nighttime menace. I mean, if you think about Annabelle, you could probably see where
You can
this
say,
premise comes from.
like the whole Annabelle thing about a toy or something, object being possessed. Yeah,
Maybe
okay, that makes sense.
inspired by a true
Inspired.
story,
Sure,
not
sure.
definitely like totally
So
based
that's
on
why
a
I
true
don't
story.
believe those
So
lines.
voodoo.
Yeah. Amityville Horror was another one that you mentioned. The Conjuring.
No.
Delicious. How many donuts out of bring it back.
9 donuts.
Out of 10?
Jelly donuts.
Wow.
Chili donuts?
Oh, wow. You're
Ooh,
serious about that
dang.
one.
That one, The Conjuring,
Well,
is good.
yeah, I gotta point back to one. You had one there.
The Conjuring?
Nightmare on Elm Street. Why is that one based on a true story?
According to this, the makers of this movie were inspired by a group of Laotian refugees
Where's that?
who died
That sounds
Oh.
fake too.
in throes of a nightmare. I don't know.
So people
Scoop
died when they
Whoop
were
sounds
asleep, and
pretty
that's
legit.
it.
Okay.
Sounds pretty legit.
Yeah, legit. No, Nightmare on Elm Street. We talked about it in the 80s one. And I just sent you guys a clip last night that
Was that from that film?
Not from part 1, but from part 4, which was a different one. I talked about, I think, part 2 or 3. I don't remember the last
in the
time.
80s one?
Yeah. And so this one, part 4, is super cheesy. Like, you were cracking up with it.
Yeah, that clip you sent was ridiculous.
So it brought me back, and I think I'll link it on the YouTube description, but it's a whole clip of this girl working out and Freddie and Freddie coming in. Did you watch the actual one? Are you looking for a ghost? You see something?
I saw something.
You saw something?
Claudia!
Why are you crying again?
I know!
So then, yeah, the whole clip, laptop, let's do it. Okay. So then, yeah, on the Nightmare on Elm Street one, part 4, she's working out and Freddie comes up right behind her and like, she says,
I'll spot you.
Yeah, I'll spot you. I don't, like, something along the lines, I don't believe in you or something. And he says, well, I believe in you. And he kind of pushes down on the weight. And like, it's enough pressure. She has bad form, by the way. If you read the comments on there, she's like, that's bad form. Her arms break.
We know why he wanted to bring up this movie.
You wanted to show off your biceps.
No, I just wanted to show. Anyway, so he pushes down and this whole bone pops out or whatever. But she turns into like a cockroach. I think earlier in the movie, she squished a cockroach, which brought that back where she was transformed into a cockroach. And so she kind of runs away. Her arms fall off, and it looks ridiculous. But the thing is, I think when I saw it as a kid, that freaked me out.
She wasn't even crying, Jim.
She was in pain. Her
okay.
arms were like this.
That's why. Like it was. Yeah. She was running through the hall. She's like like with cockroach arms, like nothing. So, it was so dumb.
Well, because. I don't know. Anyway, so and then eventually she goes into a little roach motel, those sticky traps, and she steps in something. And then she ends up falling, and her face falls into that sticky trap stuff. And she pulls her face away, and her face comes off. So she's like a cockroach head now. And then Freddie pretty much grabs it and says, yeah, you can check in, but you can't check out, and squishes it, and all the juice comes out.
Did you watch it? The clip he said?
The clip. Oh, yeah.
I know. I didn't think you watched it.
Thanks, Claudia. I watch all your 30-minute videos.
I never send 30-minute videos.
Yeah, so that was a good one. Nightmare on Elm Street. That clip. It was. You were probably cracking up the whole time as your defense mechanism.
That's true.
To not be scared.
I did say I do that.
It's hilarious.
What I thought about when you sent that clip was that when he broke her arms and the bone fractured out of her skin, she wasn't screaming the way I would think you would scream if that happened. She screamed like you just like got a mosquito bite or something. She's like, oh no, this is weird. And then she gets up and she's just like, oh no.
How do you scream when mosquitoes bite you?
And then they fell off.
She's like, oh man, my arms. And then she gets, those things coming out of her shoulder. Like, so weird.
Being transformed to a bug and then like getting squished. I don't know. That freaked me out.
Little Jim, I can picture you like,
no, mommy, no. I don't know how old I was when I saw that, but my cousins and I, we always used to have that movie night when I'd spend the night, and they had all these, stacks of recorded tapes from HBO or whatever, and we'd watch them,
HBO.
You're thinking of Cinemax.
I don't know.
Cinemax. So another one that I had, and it's a recent one, and recent I mean in the 2000s, maybe late 90s. Final Destination.
Oh, that's in. Oh nope, it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Final Destination. Y'all seen it before?
Yes.
Based on a true story. No, it's
not.
No, it's not.
But it is trippy. I wouldn't say it's scary. It's trippy.
Did you watch all of them?
Scary.
How many are there? Like a cajillion and five?
5 or 6 of them. But like the original was really, really scary. The second one was good too.
I feel like there is one death in at least every movie that really that gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your favorite? What's one that sticks in your mind?
That I still think about now is the train track one where they're standing outside and they're fighting and there's like a piece of metal under the train tracks and the train comes, it's like, and he gets decapitated.
What's his name? Stifler?
I don't remember names. I don't know.
Stifler from American Pie. Which
they didn't watch that, so.
The guy that he's with The Rock and that other movie, The Rundown. That dude.
Not ringing any bells.
Anyways,
so that's the scene that's still like when I'm you stopped at train tracks. I'm like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
You ducked your head.
I know. I ducked my head.
Yeah, that one was. There's a lot of crazy stuff in there. I mean, the whole avoiding death and then death finding
Still
you
finds
because
you, yeah.
needed to die at that point. You know,
Like it was fate that
it
you had
was
to
fate
die.
that you had to die, and them escaping it and eventually coming back and getting you.
Yeah.
Except for no, I think they all got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot, but there's still so many deaths. Like
Yeah.
I remember the cookout one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then also the tan one.
Oh,
candy.
that's the one
Tanning
I was gonna
bed.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
the one in the Home Depot. I think there's a scene where
Oh,
he's like
pretty-
in a hardware store.
Yeah, pretty much at Home Depot. They're working the nail gun.
Oh
It
yeah.
just kills a girl. So that's probably a sequel. I don't think that's the first one.
That's like the latest.
That's one of the latest ones. So
Mm.
they got really creative with the Final Destination movies where they're just finding new ways to kill these people. And it just became a Rube Goldberg machine. But it was still enjoyable. And especially the first one, like a cool concept. And they brought it to life.
What was
So,
your scariest
like
death?
that one? I don't remember. I don't. Oh, well,
the,
just
the electricity one when the cords fall and they get electrocuted.
yeah, I don't remember that part. In the first one?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
They all just merged together. for
Yeah,
me.
they all
Yeah.
did merge together. A lot of crazy stuff happened in that. Silly deaths too. But just like I think the teacher, where she was going around. I mean, that wasn't really a crazy one, but that sticks out to me. Where just all this bad stuff happens to her, where she like gets stabbed by her own knives and all in the kitchen. You know? I think one that I always think about that is very like realistic is where you slip in the shower and then it wraps around his neck.
The neck,
yeah.
the string, right?
Yeah.
And he chokes.
And he
Oh
just
man, I
chokes.
remember that.
And it just looks so natural. I mean, the other ones got more elaborate and stuff, but these were all kind of accidents, which was cool in the first one.
And scary.
Yeah.
I've won another one. Saw, the Saw movie.
I don't like
The first
gore
one.
movies.
Horror movies?
Gore.
Gore,
movies.
like
Okay.
That's
Oh,
one.
I agree with you though. I don't like
Like the blood
Eli
and stuff.
Roth, like they call it torture porn. I don't like any of those. That's what they call it
That's
because
gross.
it's really
Graphic.
and it's for the sake of being graphic. And I don't like that. But Saw, the first one, is a really good movie on its own. You don't have to watch any of the other ones, but just Saw number one. Do yourself
Is
a
that
favor.
the one of the little kid with the bike? Like, it's time for a
He's a-
game.
Is that what he says?
It's time for a game. Does he not
No,
say that?
He says,
I want to play a game. There you go.
Wanna play a game.
What does all your scary people sound the same?
They all come from same scary
And you know what?
source.
They don't ride a tricycle like this.
How do you ride a tricycle?
With your
Like this and your
with
feet
Your feet move.
This is their feet. I'm doing their feet.
You put your feet. Anyway, whatever. So yes, I want to play a game. It's time for a game, everyone.
Kids, gather around.
Gather around. Yeah. So Saw, if you haven't seen it, watch the first one, and the second one's good too. But they continued it. They tried to do this whole thing and the whole franchise to bring it back to the first one, and a bunch of time travels. Not really, but while this was happening, very smartly put together. But it does get into that whole like, how can we hurt these people? So it gets into a little bit that gore stuff. But the first one is actually, like I said, a really good movie. Has a little bit of a twist. So if you like twist, check out Saw number one. How about you? Anything else you want to add?
Well, we didn't ask the questions
Yeah,
that we.
okay.
Well, okay,
What
so
are you gonna
we had 3 questions we're gonna ask each other by the end of this. We did the first one, favorite scary movie. The second one is a movie that terrified you, like just completely freaked you out, like you still are like scarred by. I have 2.
Go for it. Let's start it off.
My first one. Okay, so It.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
clowns.
not someone who's scared of clowns, but he was so ugly. Like, oh man, I just remember like his nails. And even now when I'm walking and I'm walking by like one of those like rain gutters, I can't look inside. I'm like, it's inside. Even now as an adult, I'm like, nope, it's inside.
Ice cream trucks, dude. Those freaked me out for a while.
Really?
Because, yeah, he would kidnap you there.
Really? Was that the song they had in the movie?
I don't remember.
In the valley, we hear those. Elotes, elotes. That's what I hear from my
Compra tus elotes.
Yeah.
Chicharrones.
Mm.
Okay, now.
So you had It, and what else?
And my all-time scariest film that I've ever seen in my entire life is Cabin Fever.
What?
Really?
That's the reaction I get when I
Yeah.
tell people.
You know, and that's what I was talking about, the torture porn movies, because he kind of goes into this gross things, and there's kind of some funny parts in there too.
I don't know. I don't even think I've ever finished watching it because the first time I watched it was at a sleepover at my house, and it was a sleepover with my siblings.
Like, hey sisters, let's have a hey best friend.
We would do that, okay? Don't judge.
Shout out to your sisters.
Shout out to Melinda and Morley.
There you go.
Yeah, so we'd have we'd get all these colchas out, and we'd make like a colcha fort, and we'd watch movies. And so that was one of them that we watched. Was
How old were you?
Like 5 years ago. No, it was a few years. Oh man, I honestly don't remember how old I was. When did that movie come out? Do y'all know?
Probably
not
in the
that old.
2000s, mid 2000s. Yeah.
So it was when the year that movie came out, and then when it was released to DVD. So that year,
DVDs,
I don't know when that was. And so we stayed and we watched it, and I was so terrified, just the fact that it was germs, and then the scene that did it. There's also the creepy kid like pancakes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
That's so scary.
That's a funny part.
No, it wasn't. I was so scared. But the part that really got me was when she was shaving in the tub, and her skin was like coming out. Oh man, that scarred me, and I went running to my parents, like crying, like I was shaking, and I slept with my parents that night. So scary. So anyways, that's my scariest movie ever.
Yeah, that one was good. And speaking on that one, it's not a scary movie, but have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
Which one's that?
Joss Whedon kind of movie.
Which one's that?
Okay.
Bloody too?
It's not bloody. It's more of a commentary of scary movies, but it's done in the tropes of like Cabin in the Woods and things like that. What did I say? Cabin Fever. Sorry. So Cabin in the Woods is a one that is very smart. It takes on all the tropes. I think Jenny, shout out Jenny, she saw it in college and she didn't really like it, but she doesn't like horror movies. So it's still scary, but then it goes crazy. Like, it's just one of those, it surprises you, I think.
What's Joss Whedon, so
yeah,
I'll watch
Whedon,
it.
so
I'll watch it.
Great dialogue, takes on the characters, and we need to talk about that one once you finish watching it. Want to see what you think. You haven't seen it, though?
I've seen it, but I don't think... Like, it's one of those that didn't stick with me. Like, I was probably making fun of it.
Yeah, and you can laugh in that movie. It's a funny horror movie, which is, I mean, a completely different one. Shaun of the Dead, great zombie movie. If you haven't seen it, hilarious, smart writing. It's great. It's awesome. But you, what
You
freaked
can
out?
go next. I'm still thinking.
Well, something that scared me as a kid, I think I talked a lot about mine in the 80s. It's Freddy Krueger was a classic. Just going to bed. You have to go to bed.
That's Twitter.
Yeah, and what's the song? Do you remember it?
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3.
He never did that. Or he never sang the songs. Those kids.
Better lock the
Yeah.
door.
I would scare my sisters with that.
Yeah.
So bad. It's so much fun.
So that one, Nightmare on Elm Street was freaky, but because you have to go to bed and you have to go to sleep, and the ghost came back.
The ghost is printing.
The ghost is printing something.
Let's not.
No,
ask
so-
guys that.
We respect you, Ghost.
Yeah.
Do your business.
Props. So running to your bed, like the whole classic, something's gonna grab you. So you
La
have
mano
to,
pachona.
you have
La
to-
mano
La
pachona.
mano
What is
pachona.
that? Tell us what that is.
It's the hairy,
Why is it hairy?
because it's scary.
Oh, it pokes noses.
Fucks your nose.
Oh no, that's gross. So you're running to the bed. You don't want anything to grab you. You go to the restroom in the middle of the night because you have to go. You see it in a bunch of movies. I think Sixth Sense did it. It's the same thing. That was true. You'd run. You'd jump on top, and because like your bed has like a dark part right under there.
That's why I like my bed touching the floor.
The floor. That's why you sleep on the floor.
Because then I'll stick stuff in there, and then I'll think that there's something underneath.
Do you ever feel safe when you cover your whole body with your?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Okay, so you have to cover your whole body with a blanket. If not, the ghost will get you or whatever.
Okay, well, that was always my like thing.
Thought
Like,
process.
well, even now, like when I'm watching movies, like I still cover myself with it until the Grudge 3.
There's a third one.
Maybe 2.
Maybe I think there's a 2.
The one was it the
There's a
Grudge?
2.
I think so. Where she was hiding under the bed and the girl starts crawling from
inside.
I'm like, no, you just like messed. Like that's a safe. That's your safe place. What are you doing?
There's no safe. You can't hide from the Grudge. That's true. And also from behind, coming from the wall.
Yeah.
From behind, which is really cool.
It just takes
different.
away your safe places.
It does,
You
and
think
that's
that
very
you're in
smart.
a corner, like nope, I'm safe, and then
Comes in from the wall, from behind you or from under your blanket.
Which is supposed to be
that.
like your ultimate safe place, and they took that from me. Thanks, The Grudge.
How about you?
Well, going back to the blankets, I have to have one of my feet out
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps me cool.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
No, it's normal.
Yeah,
Everybody
I know.
has that.
For me, the scary ones, I would say The Grudge. I couldn't sleep because of
Mhm.
The Grudge. Like, just closets. I think that's why I have such a phobia for closets, because he would come out of there.
Mhm.
And also La Llorona. But
Mhm.
you probably haven't seen it because there was it's like a Mexican version of La
Mhm.
Llorona.
I
That's
didn't
the
know there was a
independent
movie.
film one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, my sisters and I were so scared. So scared. It was just, we were young and it just terrified us.
Mhm.
Just the idea of La Llorona. you know, it was so scary.
Yeah.
She had long nails and I don't know. It was just.
Just freaked you out.
That
Long
one
nails
was
freaked you
mine.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Long nails.
Those long nails.
Okay.
Yeah, just because they're so
Like, it's nails.
gross. Like, how do you wipe?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah. So on that note, anything else you want to add before we wrap up, guys?
No.
Yeah,
We didn't
there's-
ask our third question.
Okay.
The
what's
worst.
your third one?
Cheesiest, yeah, our cheesiest scary movie.
What's your
You
cheesiest?
say no. She keeps nodding, but she's not
You
saying
had one.
anything.
Sinister and The Night of the Living
Sinister.
Oh,
Dead.
Sinister.
No, Return of the Living Dead. Return of the
One
Living
of those. Like,
Mhm.
I'm just like,
Something Living Dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, really? That scares you people? Like,
You people.
just
what do
the
you mean? Old
effects.
people?
Right.
Sinister, I just
Oh,
thought
Sinister,
it was so hilarious.
Remind.
It's like that, it's kind of also with a video. Like, you watch the video,
Mhm.
like, it's this people, they move into the house.
Oh, it's the one from. Is that the?
There's a
no.
new one coming
Go
out. There's a
ahead,
new
go
movie
ahead.
coming
What
out.
happens? Tell
They
me.
move into a house, and it's the dad, I want to say, he's like an author, and
Mhm.
so they move in because he wants to write. Then the kids find a tape
Mhm.
or a video, and they watch it, and in the tape, like, they hang, like, the kids.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like this monster that wants the kids' souls, from what I remember.
Okay.
And I just thought it was hilarious because the guy wasn't even scary. Oh, and that reminds me, yeah, that one,
Mm-hmm.
that one is just one of my worst cheesy movies.
Mhm.
And then the Babadook. Have you heard of the Babadook?
Don't
What
tell me
is-
about that one because I haven't seen it yet.
What is
But
that?
my kids they saw it before
It's on
me with.
Netflix.
Is that a
I heard
recent one?
it's
Oh, it's
good.
on Netflix?
Yeah, I heard
It's like a foreign movie.
I actually heard it's good. So
It's
but,
good,
but you
but
thought
it's
it was
funny.
funny.
The effects are funny.
Oh, okay. So I have to check it out because I've heard good things that it's actually a pretty decent scary movie.
Those are mine.
Those are yours. So a cheesy one of mine, and it has cult status. You probably saw posters of it in Stranger Things. Evil Dead, Evil Dead, and then Evil Dead 2, and then Army of
Mhm.
Darkness.
That's probably what I was thinking of
You're
when it comes to
thinking
the
of
dead
The
thing.
Dead, yeah, Evil Dead, but it's meant to be like a cheesy Sam Raimi. He directed the first and second Spider-Man, and the third one. But it was
So I'm not gonna watch
no.
that.
So Evil Dead, but it's completely different. He also did that Drag Me to Hell movie.
Oh man, that movie.
Just the
That
concept,
one was
I think
cheesy
is
too.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
cheesy to be cheesy
Mm-hmm.
because he knows what he's doing. Like when he did Evil
Like making
Dead,
fun of the.
it's
scary
not
movie or
really-
what?
He adds that humor in there. I think Evil Dead was a straight up horror movie.
Mm.
Cheesy effects is done in the I think late 80s or probably early 90s, late 80s or early 90s. Evil Dead 2 was like he had more money and he redid it, but he just very cheesy as well. So, but I still enjoy those movies. The effects are just bad, but it's still it can be scary. There's some scary parts in there. That's a good one. Cult status. So, which is do you know Bruce Campbell? The main dude in that one. He comes out in there's a new show, Ash versus the Evil Dead. He was on Xena.
Oh.
He was on Burn Notice. He's one of the
Okay.
characters in Burn Notice. So he has that cult status. People love him. Kind of like Nathan Fillion. So yeah. How about you?
Cheesiest, I think it is. Oh man, is Paranormal Activity 4?
Probably.
Is there 4? Is that the Hispanic
Yeah, the
people
last
one?
one.
The
I need to
Hispanic
watch
one.
it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
It was on my list.
Yeah, so that one, because we host New Year's Eve in my house. And so every year, my family and I, like all the kids, so we all get together.
You're not a kid anymore.
Calm down. Yes, I am. No, I know.
I am,
They make fun of me too. No, okay, so all the children, as in the kids of the tias and tios and parents and stuff.
You're still not a child.
Jim, stop. Yes, I am. Whatever. Okay, so we all get together and we watch. We watch at least one movie before before midnight or whatever. And so last year we went through like the dumb side of Netflix, and so we watched like the original like Japanese The Grudge, the original one. Hilarious. And then we also watched that one, Paranormal Activity 4. And we were cracking up the entire time. It was so dumb. And also because it had to do with Hispanics. So we were just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And I just remember laughing the entire time. Like, it was just so ridiculously dumb. And so that's my cheesiest one.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I didn't see any of those. But again, when you watch a scary movie with like family members and a group of people, it takes away a little bit of that. I think the best way to watch it is you with maybe your loved one or siblings, but like 1 or 2 or 3 of you in a dark room, sound blasted all the way up, and there you go. I think just about anything can be scary. But check it out like that. You've mentioned you told us a story about Exorcist, right? Your first time watching it.
Yeah. So and that just goes to that I can't watch a scary movie seriously because I can't. So the very first time I ever watched The Exorcist was in 6th grade. I was at a sleepover at one of my friend's house, and so her mom had to go drop something off or visit one of her friends or something. And so this is in where we're from is Monte. So there's nothing.
What's Monte?
So
empty fields of nothing.
Oh wow, that sounds scary.
So the plot of a scary movie.
Okay.
And so we went, and where she lives, was it Garceño? I don't know. It was like one of those cities where there's nothing but nothing. Yeah. And so she went to drop it off, and so we wanted to watch a scary movie, and we had just rented The Exorcist. We were going to watch it at her house, but her vehicle had the DVD slot thing, so we started watching it. And when we got there, her friend's house was next to a cemetery, and so we watched the first half, probably more than half. It was like 3/4 of the movie. So while her mom was inside, like chilling with her mom's friend, we were locked in the vehicle watching The Exorcist next to the cemetery.
Okay.
And so we're 6th graders. We're scared and laughing and trying to make jokes and stuff. And then the second time, which is the last time that I've ever watched it, was my freshman year of high school at another sleepover at my friend's house, and she also lives in Salineño, so that's
everybody lives next to a cemetery.
Yeah, well, that is also
one cemetery, one neighborhood.
No, this is a completely like different part of like past Roma.
Yeah.
And so, but that's also in the middle of nowhere. And so
it's freaky. It's scary.
Yeah, but we watched it as freshmen in high school, and of course we're making fun of we're making fun of the entire movie. And so even now, like, I can't think of the girl's name, which is Regan without laughing because one of the friends at the time, she had like a lisp. And so every time she said it so, I don't know, she said it's so weird, and I would just crack up. And so the 2 times I've ever attempted to watch it just didn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching Exorcist. You get together, you get your friends. You've heard all this good things, scariest movie ever, whatever. It even came back to theaters. But I think it might not hold up. It doesn't hold up because there's a lot. The effects are pretty decent, but there's a lot of, it's already been made fun of so many times. The tropes, them. There's scarier movies, I think, nowadays. Yeah. But I think cabin fever. You're gonna do The Exorcist thing. Your head was gonna turn around.
I was just remembering the stairs.
I'm sorry, Reagan.
The Exorcist stairs.
Yeah. Oh, the stairs. See,
that
was
spider.
So what's funny about that one? That's an added scene. That wasn't in the original movie. It was added. It might have been cut out because of effects wise, but they brought it back, put it in when it re-released in the theaters in the late 90s, early 2000s. So that might be your version of The Exorcist.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever seen with the stair scene.
It took a while to get there. Like it was building up, and maybe you're expecting those jump scares and things that nowadays movies will do and satisfy the audience a lot quicker. Just like that cold open in Conjuring 2, which is Conjuring 1 was a really good one too. We didn't really talk about it. But Conjuring 1, a lot of practical effects.
The tree.
The tree. And I got to go back and watch that. Show my kids that one.
Don't show them the second one because it gives me nightmares.
The second one give you nightmares?
The nun.
The nuns?
No, there's a nun in there that gives me the nuns. There is. She's so scary. Like
I remember I've seen it.
She's just so. Just gives me the creeps. Like the nuns.
The nuns. It gives you the nuns. The nun gave you the nuns.
They will be sleeping with you for a week if you make them watch
they already
that.
sleep with us.
Which one?
The Conjuring 2.
Part 2.
Oh.
So that's the one that we were
Terrifying.
talking about. The cold open is starts with Amityville.
Mhm.
So it's good. But Conjuring 1 is better. It's a better movie, I
1
think.
and 2.
You haven't seen the second one, and
I
you're saying
did.
it's a better movie.
No, I did. I mentioned the Amityville stuff in the beginning.
Oh, that's right.
Conjuring 2. And they go off of the whole thing that these people, the Warrens, are, they're based on these people, but of course, there's a lot of controversy. Was it true? Is it not true? That whole thing that there's these hoaxes. And when you see the pictures, like the little girl jumping off the bed, it's like, that's a little girl jumping off the bed, not levitating, So you can kind of see that. But again, with an open mind, go in, enjoy the movies, and I like them. Anything else you want to add before you wrap up?
Nope.
Yeah, there's a lot more that I love to talk about. Now that when we start talking about it, it brings up all these memories and jogs, and we all started writing down some stuff.
Yeah.
But there's some really cool stuff out there, and hopefully, if we forgot something, let us know what's your favorite scary movie, Perla or Perla. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. She calls you Perla, but I always see Perla. So let us know.
Once again, are you Hispanic?
I am Hispanic. Am I? Yes. And so let us know what you think in the comments on Twitter. You can find us at the KSM show. And my name's Jim.
Claudia?
And Melinda.
And that's been our show. So thanks. Sleep tight.
Bye. We're going to change it, no?
You probably need to be a little bit closer to Claudia.
No.
Come here.
Where's that from?
He's not even recording.
You're
Ow,
always
my
recording.
microphone was like...
Normal voice. Like talks to me. Hey, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, blah, blah, blah.
No, normal voice.
Meow, 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 meow. I can't.
So that's our theme song for this podcast.
No.
Look, talk. There you go. Perfect.
So good.
Say your full name.
Melinda Lene Garza the fourth.
You're the fourth?
The fourth.
I did not know that.
When I first started working here,
It was weird.
when we were strangers, as we are
Mhm.
today.
As we are to continue to be. You ready to go?
Dun dun.
Let me drink some water.
Yeah.
These are the stories of what? Did I merge two things?
Jim, would you like us if we would you talk to us if we had a mustache? Hey Jim.
No.
Hey Jim.
I think
Would you still
I think
be-
I'd have one of those like
Look, you'd be you, but you'd have a mustache?
yeah. I think I'd have one of those
Like-
mustaches like the little red guy from Looney Tunes.
The little
You
circle.
Say, what's your
The piggy. The piggy.
Putting like 30 characters.
I know.
Hey, what's up, Doc? That's not him.
That's racist, Jim.
What?
What's up, dog? That's so racist.
What's up, Doc?
That's Bugs Bunny. Oh my gosh.
Don't fart.
What?
It'll fan it this way.
Why, Claudia?
It's the truth.
Oh yeah. Why are you the way that you are? Oh gosh.
I think I'm
7 days.
So would you not talk to us if we had mustaches?
I would, I think.
Wait, is mustache?
He
What is there a
thinks
plural? Mustache?
Mustachio.
Mustache. I don't know.
We don't discriminate against your little mustache.
No. The first
You've
river
been
float.
growing that for weeks.
I know, it's been 4 weeks, dude.
He's got like 5 little new hairs.
This is a story about
A man
Little
named
Blue
Jim.
Man. What?
One.
That's a synonym.
Show.
You need to show your son that one.
Do I look like a monster again?
You look like a monster.
Why? It's not my
I
fault.
don't know. I can't help if you look like a monster or not. But it's because you asked me to get closer to Claudia.
No, I think that's good. You need to be closer to her.
Yeah, but I'm framing wise.
No, it's good.
You have to make it creepy, Jim.
What do you
The
mean?
intro. You have to make the intro creepy.
Do you want to do the intro?
In my creepy voice.
No.
Welcome.
No, we don't turn people off. They're like, oh.
Like, nope. X.
Okay, well, we can start.
Something in my throat. Shame, Jim.
Shame.
Shame.
Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you.
Alright, I'm going to sing again.
Stop it.
What does that mean?
Like,
Oh,
Like a coscorron.
I'm worried.
you say these words that I haven't heard of since high school. Like, it's like flashback.
But
It
you
takes
know
me
what
back.
they are, right? Coscorron.
Yeah, but like I haven't heard any of these phrases or words since I was in high school, and you just like take me back
Take me back
to outer space.
to the ball.
For the what? That's not how the song goes.
Just take me out.
Okay. Alright, I guess. Man, it's always, why can't we just start?
I don't know.
Dale, Jim. Dale.
We've all coughed like 14 times. Okay.
Claudia, behave,
You're
Claudia.
making me laugh.
Claudia. You should just have in the bloopers just like one of those like back to back of like all of us coughing like
Okay.
Like-
Dale.
I can't stop coughing.
Desperation. Why did it stop?
Whew. Okay.
Alright, hopefully it works. And the mic, you know what I mean?
Nami.
Nah, I
No,
mean. Okay. Alright, look up there. Behave, Claudia. No wonder you were in ISS. And
I
went to
was-
ISS.
Once
You
in
went to
middle
ISS.
school, and it wasn't even my fault. Okay, don't bring into this.
Ooh.
Every time I see you, I just wanna
Oh,
like.
you name names. I'm gonna leave it.
No, you're not.
I will.
Claudia, I thought you were a good
I
student.
was a good
No,
student.
she wasn't.
Not if you've been to ISS.
It wasn't me.
Did you go to ISS?
Yes.
Then it was
But
you.
it wasn't my fault.
Do your parents know?
Yeah, yeah. They wanted me to send me to boarding school and punish me, and I was gonna be a criminal because the NSA had my fingerprint.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently,
Okay.
Scary
My name
movies.
is- my
Nah,
name is-
mean.
No, I mean, alright.
Like that. I wanted to do the and Melinda
And
and
Melinda.
Peggy. I did it the first time. I noticed that I did it in 2 podcasts ago, I think.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm gonna start doing that. And Melinda.
Jim, Claudia.
And Melinda. There's too many syllables though.
Yeah, too many. Alright.
And Jim. You
And
see, yours
Jim.
would work.
Oh, I should do that. Yeah.
No,
Melinda.
Peggy. Well, Peggy's too. Peggy. Claudia. No.
And,
And Jim.
and Jimmy.
And Jimmy.
I'm Jimmy.
And Jimmy.